And we are on.
All right, hello everybody. This is Constantine James
Saint Wombo. Hello.
and today we are going to be covering Mahler's short film. Mahler's short film, All in Good Time. We are both retired fans of EFAP.
Uh,
I
I
retired, current
uh,
fan, I don't know.
I'm current still.
You're current, yeah. I,
Yeah,
I go back and forth,
I crawl
but
back every time.
I feel like it is only fair that the person in podcast by extension who has made a name for themselves being incredibly, and I mean this in a good way, annoying and methodical with the way they break down media, movies, so on and so forth. I feel it's fair that we do the same to them. Not doing this with hate in my heart. I just want to kind of see what Mahler's got because he is a YouTuber who, even though I disagree with him sometimes, I can appreciate what he does and the work he puts in. And I mean, I would like to think I have a goal eventually of making something. I know you do. And I guess what we're doing today, we're breaking it down.
Yep. I don't know how many times have you seen this so far?
I've seen it twice.
Okay. I've seen it twice and I've listened to it a third time. Um,
Mhm.
I I guess just right out of the gate, like what are your initial overall thoughts?
Um, so my first thought is I'm not sure I understood all of it, which is why I'm happy to go through it with
Yeah.
you because maybe there's stuff you caught that I didn't. Uh, I think it was a solid first project. As in, and with first projects, it's never going to be perfect. I think this would be a very good thing for him to look back on in a few years when he's more seasoned and be like, okay, I had some strengths here, some weaknesses here, and this is where I'm going to improve in the future. I have to say, if for some reason he sees this, I'm not sure if he will, regardless of my criticisms or praises, just the fact that he made this to begin with, sunk in, I'm assuming thousands of dollars of worth of time and effort and energy, when, I mean, ultimately, he is very divisive. He didn't have to do this, and he kind of had a lot to lose if this was, like, abominable. So I have to give him his props for at least shooting a shot.
Yeah.
And I think I think it has strengths and weaknesses that we're going to cover. You?
Yeah. Overall, I think honestly the biggest takeaway is just I've heard Mahler for so many years now complain about like mid to bad writing. And I feel like my takeaway from so much of what he's said is like people need to raise their standards for storytelling, which I very much agree with, which is why I was kind of expecting a bit more. And like the first time I saw it, even the second time I saw it, there were quite a few moments where like I didn't actually know exactly what was going on, so I'd have to withhold judgment because there are
Hmm.
parts of the dialogue that are left very intentionally vague. Um, and then it wasn't until subsequent listenings and watching that I go, okay, I think there are some things that I don't even know if Mahler like has answers for. And as far as like dialogue and like plot, I was kind of disappointed. I was happy with some character work. I was very happy with like the theming. But yeah, I was a little disappointed. I would have expected more from somebody who not only spends so much time talking about like having really high standards for writing, but also somebody who's always harping on like redrafting and taking your time and not like putting out a an unfinished product. When I do feel like there are some small changes that could have like fixed this or made it a lot better.
Yeah, it's he's also kind of limited by the fact that it's a short film. There are a lot of short films that are
True.
phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but I feel like what he was going for just simply required more time, just just more time overall, which is funny because the title of the thing is about time. And just going off of vibes, and I will concede that this could be that I am way too familiar with Mahler's style and what he likes out of media,
Mm.
but it very much feels like something Mahler would make and be like, oh, this is cool. Instead of it being authentic, it's hard to word because you kind of just have to assume and get and understand what I'm saying. But it feels like Mahler is trying very hard to create something that he himself would like, instead of the plot unraveling in a more natural fashion that would just be well done, in a sense. Does that kind of track? Are you
I
following me?
I see what you're saying. I just don't know if I agree.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's it's
yeah,
completely that's like the
yeah,
most subjective point I'm gonna make. It's
yeah,
just for some reason I'm like, you're trying way too hard. Like you're trying way too hard to create something you would like.
yeah. For me,
But I mean,
I definitely see the inspiration where I don't know about you, but I very quickly got, oh, this is a tie win for the crime boss.
this is a Silco.
Yeah, it's so Tywin, it's not even funny. Even
Mm.
down to like his father being like a disgrace who he thought was weak that would have like destroyed their house if he hadn't taken over and become a ruthless bastard. Like it's just Tywin. And yeah, that's why I think one problem that I do have with it, and this is really just a personal problem. This isn't like an objective flaw. But one problem I have with it is like it. There's nothing like super original about it. You know what I
I was about to
mean?
say the same thing. I was about to say the same thing.
It just feels very generic. Like it's just
Hmm.
it's a crime boss shooting his victims, and one of the victims kills him. And
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been on like a fucking Pixar kick and like watching old movies. But like all these like really cool stories, like they get to do all these really fun creative shit, especially because like their premise, like from the ground up, they're not about just some boring shit that you've seen 100 times before. They're about like monsters that are like harvesting screams from children. They're about toys that are trying to get like their fellow toys back into their house after they've been lost. Like, but then this, like I said, it's just there's a lot less room I think for creativity when your premise is like, oh, mob boss at the end of his life who's very
yeah.
much a Tywin. Like it just
It
it's nothing I haven't seen before, you know?
that is one of my big criticisms as well, and I think that you're actually defending, arguing better than I did with my point previously about the vibes. It's just something that I've seen before that I grasp, and it doesn't seem that creative, and I think
Yeah.
this may be reflective of Mahler's more black and white understanding of art, where it felt like he went into this being like, what could I create that could be viewed as objectively good? When in every piece of media there is a subjective element, a creativity element that I don't think this one had as much as I would like it to. But that's not a criticism of his character, something that I think he could just develop as he progresses as a writer, as a director, whatever he ends up wanting to do, you know?
Yeah, and like I said, it's really not something I think I'll ever be like, oh, this is bad because it's not like super original. But at the
Hmm.
same time, like, I don't know. That's when it comes to like figuring out where you draw the line and what your personal standards are. There's still so much that like even I have yet to like try to figure out. Where when you test certain like parameters for quality, it doesn't always compute the way you'd think it would. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where it's like you'd
So
think you'd get
mhm.
points for originality, but at the same time,
You don't
it
always.
doesn't feel right to take away points for not being super original. You know what I mean?
I mean, A Song of Ice and Fire is like our favorite thing ever, and
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. And George, George just took inspiration from stuff. It's not the most original story. It's just well
yeah,
told. And as far as drawing that line, I mean, one of Mahler's mega fans could go, "I thought it was original," and like, I don't have that good of an argument to rebuttal against it. Like, I could try, but at the end of the day, there is always a subjective level of uh, just understanding and nuance to the discussion. And I am just hoping that we can provide that discussion with our review of the short film. Just try and be as nuanced and honest as possible.
yep. Give it a
I'm
fair shake.
I am not looking to tear this apart or build it up. I am just looking to kind of see what he's got with my buddy.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, I guess we're gonna start.
Hell yeah.
Pause for a second. Uh, so what do you think about like the planets and the atmosphere and just the solar system? Do you have any thoughts about this?
Oh, to me, I just kind of view this as separate. There's nothing. I mean, okay. In most,
I was kidding. I was kidding.
okay.
I was making
Well,
positive.
you've already activated my tangent. So I was gonna say in most films, I would just kind of not consider like the opening logo a part of the film. But I want to say I actually really do like it when they do incorporate it into the film. Great example is Lilo and Stitch. the Disney logo, it's not like a normal Disney logo from that time. It has like a green like sonar effect instead of like the blue and white that it normally is, and then it gets like beamed up by like a UFO at the end, and it makes you feel like you're already watching Lilo and Stitch, even as
Hmm.
you're seeing like the Disney logo, which is just
Yep.
I don't know. That's something I'm gonna do in my own work. Even with Ballad of Jones, I think I've already shown you the Studio Cerberus logo, but it's all
Yeah.
pixelated and looks like a blue hologram to like
Hmm.
fit the game. I don't know. You get. I'm just saying you'd get more points if you did that.
Hmm. So I was making a joke about how like we could talk about the moon landing because you have like similar
Oh my
tangents,
god.
but I will say I like the idea of showing. Is it the moon rotating? Just clearly with this opening, there's a passage of time related to the stars, and that's where we get our time. So that's a neat
Oh,
little
okay.
just
I,
Easter egg of being like, oh, this thing's about time, and now we're seeing the planet's orbit at time. Yada yada yada.
that's neat. I did not. I didn't think about it like that at all. I'm not gonna lie, but that is fitting.
You see how like even with the solar eclipse there, like it's showcasing a passage of time, and this is all about time. I think that's cool.
Yeah. I was. Are these like connected company? They just have very similar like kind of names and like
Uh,
logo. They both have like a moon thing going on too, and like the
no
creative.
idea. I'm gonna give him the point for it just because.
All right, we have our first error. Um, so what we hear is presumably the gas trap being set or activated, and then there's a timer. Um, if the timer is meant to indicate that the gas device is on a timer, it's a really bad choice. It ends with the protagonist killing the boss with the gas device, and there's quite a few things that facilitate that happening, even down to like the boss literally hunching over him for no reason so that the gas can like fill his
Mhm.
lungs. Uh, and it's just weird to think that okay, if I don't know why they'd have this here when to me it very heavily implies the gas device is on a timer when that kind of makes the protagonist an idiot. Like he is just gambling. Like he somehow got down to the literal second when the boss would after his gun jamming and unjamming it and having a conversation with him would actually kill him and then hunch over his body. Like it's just insanely lucky. It's like it's almost impossible. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought the idea was when he is shot, like the bullet in the hole is what releases the gas. No?
That would make a bit more sense, but even then, like he's just got a gas canister in his head.
Yeah.
To me, like what makes the most sense is that it's like a fucking saw device. It's literally surgically implanted in his body. It's designed to maybe like keep track of his heart, and this is why maybe the timer is like a timer that's like synced up to his heartbeat or some shit.
Mhm.
I don't know. A lot of like mechanical stuff, like or with like the gun jamming, there's some things that I just don't know enough to actually like say. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I feel like the timer is a mistake because again a very I get the whole tying into the theme of time, but again it very much implies and it made me think that like a bomb was being set at the start. So when the gas
Mhm.
goes off, my first thought was, oh, that was on a timer. That's so fucking lucky. And then it wasn't until after like watching it again that I had to entertain like okay maybe it isn't on a
Mhm.
timer and maybe that's just an unfortunate choice that they made,
Agreed. Mhm.
which I think that's what it is. But yeah, would have been better to just not have that, I think.
Mhm.
What do you think of this? The giant fucking spacing.
I think it's strange, but I mean, I don't really care, honestly.
So don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
The funny enough, you watch the behind the scenes, and it's a very similar font, but they just have the letters close together. And shocker, it looks way better when it's just normal.
Got you.
So maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the idea I get with that shot is because like the barn is where he's killing people. That field is probably like literally fertilized with like so many fucking corpses.
I didn't think about that. That's sick. I want to note here that I really like that opening shot. Reminds me of like The Dark Knight with the cold opening. Score is sick. Just looks good, and it provides you with a sense of claustrophobia where it's like, oh look, freedom, beauty. Oh no, where are we going?
I didn't think about that. Yeah, it literally kind of pulls you into the barn
Uh-huh.
with the hostages. So, I don't know why Henchman goes around and this could just be another sound issue. Checking their restraints, that makes sense. But it literally sounds like he's like tightening or even like fully fastening them. Like he's going behind and fully zip tying them. And my thought is just like, that makes it seem like they weren't fully zip tied. And it makes me wonder why they weren't fully zip tied already.
I think it's just henchman doing henchman stuff to make sure it's on. You know?
Yeah. Do you get a Mike vibe from this guy? That's the first thing that came into my head.
Mike, yes,
Yep.
I do. We're talking Mike from Breaking Bad, by the way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah, okay,
as
okay.
soon as you said Mike from, I don't know why I was just like, yes.
Mhm.
Like of course he means Breaking
Mike
Bad.
from, yeah,
What else would
yeah.
Mike be from?
I like that. I like that he takes his time introducing the villain. That you let the fear set into the hostages. You watch the big buff henchman be like, "Oh no, the boss is coming," and you hear him coming before you actually see him. It creates a great sense of dread. Like, "Oh no, something's coming."
Yeah, and it definitely feeds into kind of what the boss is all about, where
Mm-hmm.
this is very much like kind of a ritual almost.
Yep.
And he's all about like letting them know their time is up right before he
Yep.
kills them and like dragging it
And
out.
and also, while yes, it is an original, like we said, just the bad guy looking sharp in a really fitted suit. It always slaps.
Yeah, and they got a pretty good actor.
Yeah, he was really good, I thought.
I will have some comments about the direction where I feel like one of the reasons parts of this come off honestly just super pretentious is that there's so many lines where they could have delivered them a bit like softer, a bit more casual, but almost
Hmm.
every line is delivered very, very dramatically, which I think
Definitely.
makes a bit more sense coming from the protagonist, considering he's on a suicide mission. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I think the suave villain guy though almost he kind of relinquishes like control of his emotions a little too
Hmm.
quickly, and he
Yep.
gets a little too into it.
We'll definitely get to that.
Yeah. Um, I do like the just the little inclusion of Mike flinching when the lady
Hmm.
gets shot, just showing that he's not entirely bought into like his boss.
Yep.
Um, I almost kind of wish we got a little bit more because it could have tied very well into the idea that the boss has pushed people away. He's lost all of his allies.
Yeah.
But I appreciate this being here. Just a little
I
something
almost wish
showing.
I almost wish we got like an in between scene with him getting the
Yeah,
gun or whatnot.
yeah. Um, so quick question: do you know why he skips the third guy?
No.
Okay.
I in my mind, at first it was like it's a fear tactic because he wants to like make himself be so far above these people. He wants to make the most fear be set in. Maybe he saw that he wasn't moving and wasn't fidgeting when he was going to take the bag off like the other people were. So he's thinking, let me make him think he was going to die and then skip over him to possibly give him a false sense of hope or let the dread sit in more. That was my original thought. But then we're going to get to the gun jamming, and then I was like, oh, this villain's a genius. He made sure that he used up all of his bullets so he could talk to the protagonist for some reason, but I don't think that was the reason either.
And that, yeah, so that's kind of the problem I have with it, where I'm actually not sure what I'm supposed to think. I'm not sure if, because one alternative is way weaker and one is way stronger. Where if it is just a gun jam, it's like, wow, lucky fucking break. And I'm some people will probably be like, well, if he gets shot, it releases the gas and kills the boss anyway. Wrong. Like we see from the ending that the gas isn't like it doesn't like explode out of his body. It like trickles out. So much so that the boss again literally has to hunch over him and like ignore the sounds and the sight of the gas and then suck it up. If he shot him at this distance, just in the face, looking at him, I think him and maybe even the henchman would be like, "Oh shit, there's gas coming out of this guy," and they just step away. And I
Yeah.
don't even know if the boss would be close enough to begin with, because he would
Mike
be
would die.
hunching over him. Yeah, I think it would just be Mike that dies, which is really fucking ironic, because the protagonist's whole beef is like, you killed my family member with your gas attack, because you were aiming for one person and you didn't care who else you got with it. And
Hmm.
it's just so funny that, yeah, like if this had gone a different way, he would have just killed his like fellow prisoners and Mike, and the boss would have been okay.
He
um,
he he skips the two, shoots him first. The gas kills everyone in the room.
yeah, like, uh, and that's why again, it's a small change you could have made, um, where you could have had it to where like there are no other prisoners. The guy could have just made sure he got captured alone. You could have had the gas explode like an actual bomb. It it really doesn't help to have the like little gas leak.
This is. I'll make the point when we get to the gun jamming. I'll make the point when we get to the gun jamming. So, this is to my point. Right before the gun jams, he shoots the guy 3 times. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, he's emptying his mag to scare the shit out of the guy who's still has his face covered. But then the gun, it does jam, right? This is what happened, and it's never later explained that he did it for any other reason, right? Like it was just an actual jam.
Um, again, I don't know.
Okay, so maybe this point will be refuted later on if we see something that we both missed upon our watches. But if the gun has just jammed, I have to hit them with this criticism because it's one that I take issue with that they bring up all the time. How fucking convenient.
Yeah.
Like the whole plot hinges on this gun randomly just not working. Like are we serious? And in storytelling, this is just something you have to accept that there are going to be plot conveniences that need to occur for things to happen. I mean, I told you the other day that how convenient is it that like the sperm found the specific egg for Mauler to be born or Frost to be born to create
Yeah.
this movie? Like everything in life is convenience. So I would be willing to accept this just occurring because shit happens. But to Mahler, it is very ironic for his number, I would say top 3 criticism for things in general being, oh, how convenient. And then to have the whole plot hinge on just gun stops working when it was just working a second ago.
Yeah, and that's why again I want to harp on the fact that like because I feel like the defense is gonna be, oh, it doesn't matter if the gun jams because he would have like the gas would have gone off eventually anyway. Like if he had killed him here, like they both would have died. Same story, and it's like again not that's not what we're shown. Like they really
Hmm.
fuck up at the end with the visuals
Hmm.
because they
Hmm.
show that the gas attack here probably wouldn't have been effective. I just don't.
Yeah.
And again, it makes the protagonist look like kind of a fucking hypocrite, where it's like
Yeah.
he's not even like doing his job properly.
Hmm.
And second of all, kind of to the sperm point, I know a defense is going to be brought up because I've already seen it in the fucking comment section of the short. Uh, People will be like, "Oh, the gun jamming is the inciting incident. That's what facilitates the entire story." Wrong.
Hmm.
That is not the inciting incident. The Westminster gas attack is the inciting incident. The inciting
Hmm.
incident is what pulls the characters, or usually the protagonist, out of their typical life and into like the adventure of the story. That's what the
Hmm.
Westminster gas attack is. This story isn't happening just because of the gun jam. The story starts happening first because this guy presumably lost everyone or everything in that attack, and now he's here to take
Hmm.
revenge. So everything after that is fair game, which means this man planting himself here as a bomb and then getting lucky that the gun jams, getting lucky that he got skipped over, getting lucky that the boss hunched over him, like, and it is
Yeah.
already like again I take some issue with the protagonist's like plan
Hmm.
because it really seems like he's just so lucky. There's like
Hmm.
6 points of failure, and
And
he
and
gets lucky
again,
every time.
maybe we're missing something that we're gonna catch later together, but I feel like there were way more effective ways, such as the boss visibly sees that this guy is not shaking, and to him, who he's clearly very insecure and narcissistic and needs to feel like he is the shit. It'd be like, why the fuck isn't this guy scared of me? What, like, why?
Yeah.
So maybe he empties the mag and puts the protagonist in a situation where he now has more time to demonstrate his power above him. But up until this point, and upon my first 2 watches, it really does feel like he was just gonna shoot him, and the gun just went, oh, it jammed. Oh,
Yeah.
go fix it. And that's just a letdown because it's we're now in a situation where I have to accept something that I'm gonna accept that, and maybe even with that acceptance, a good story could be told. But instead, it could have been something to enhance the antagonist even more.
Yeah. And that's
It's just a
why.
shortcut. It's just a shortcut to me, at
Yeah.
least.
Well, that's why again, like one of these coincidences would be fine, maybe even two or three. It's just like I said, there. I'm pretty sure there are literally 6 points where this
Hmm.
plan would have fallen apart, and each time he's bailed out by his captor.
Hmm.
And it's like a very again, it's just very convenient.
Yep.
It facilitates the entire story, which is kind of a shame. But that's why
Hmm.
again, like, and that's why I don't know if I'm being too charitable or not charitable enough. Where there is an alternative where it does make sense. It's just that is not the alternative that I got the impression of when I was watching the first two times. So I don't know if I'd give the writer credit or the director credit for getting me there when they didn't. I had to
Hmm.
like I had to like revisit the story and be like, wait, could this all be an elaborate ruse by the by the boss to make this conversation happen? Because
Hmm.
he's interacted with the prisoner before apparently, and he's already put off by him being silent, so he's really trying to get some kind of reaction out of him. Because otherwise, yeah, everything doesn't make sense. Where it's like, why
Hmm.
skip over him and then like immediately go to shoot him in the face? Like, why you got? I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
I don't want your gun, you ape. Unless you want to sit in one of these chairs, fix mine.
What do you think about that?
I like the bit of characterization for the villain being like he has to do things himself with his own thing. It's another instance of like you need to accept this for the plot to happen. Like just eat your vegetables. But this I feel works way better than the gun just jamming. You?
Um, Uh, I was more so asking about the line, but yes, like in terms of he only kills with his father's gun. I feel like
Hmm.
from the character, like the villain standpoint, that's okay. I can buy it. I don't love it. I do wish like
Hmm.
a crime boss would be willing to like maybe cut his throat or something else, instead of just apparently bluffing, like carrying around a knife that I guess he
Uh-huh.
refuses to use unless he's not. I don't know. Um, I don't love it. And again, for me, the bigger problem is the fact that when looking back at the story as a whole, this is yet another thing where it's like the protagonist probably didn't know, or fuck, maybe he did, I don't know. But the protagonist probably didn't know that the
Hmm.
boss had a thing about like only killing. Yeah, he didn't, because he literally asks him. He didn't know about the boss only killing people with his father's gun. So this is yet another thing that happens that like allows the story to happen that the protagonist shouldn't have known about. Where it's like, oh well,
Yeah, but this is at least informed by the character we see.
yeah,
Like it does make a degree of sense that he would want to kill with his father's gun versus the gun jamming. That is just a straight up plot convenience, and there's no way around that. And I think this gives a better explanation.
yeah. And I do like the character part where it's like it's his father's gun, and like
Hmm.
he doesn't say much about his father besides he was weak and he allowed his allies to walk all over this
Hmm.
organization, but he cares enough about his father to keep his gun and like only kill people with it. And it's very interesting to note like, okay, wow, the only part of your father's legacy that you respect and want to preserve is the part where he was killing people with his gun.
Hmm.
And I think that's pretty appropriate considering I think what we're supposed to take from this character and his like failings.
Yeah, I think that's interesting.
Now get that rat fuck Boyd to do it and clean this.
Also, him him calling the guy an ape, and saying unless you want to sit in one of these chairs. Again, this is to be clear, that's a bad villain move. Like
Hmm.
if you ever want to be a crime boss, maybe don't like casually threaten your Mike like just for offering offering you his
Hmm.
gun. But at the same time, like if you're a shitty gangster and the whole point is that
Yep.
you're making bad choices that are facilitating your demise, I think that's super in character, especially with
Yeah.
him calling him an ape. Yet again,
Hmm.
putting people below him, referring to them as
Yeah.
animals, which he's going to keep
I think
doing.
this also goes back to Mike. We're just gonna call him Mike. Mike kind of being a little shaken by what he's doing. This
Yeah.
crime boss is so desperate for this like weird approval from the father that he hates, and he's so insecure that he leads to his own demise. And that's one of those moments where it's just like, a logical person wouldn't be doing this, but you're not a logical person, are you? I think that's a good bit of characterization. Like even calling the kid who's gonna fix this gun a rat. It's like, why are you being
Yeah.
why are you being such an awful person to people who are helping you? And like that's the point. So it's good.
Yeah, yeah, it is kind of weird that I don't know, I'm just so curious what even the rat fuck boy means. Because it sounds like such an especially, like, holy shit, I hate this person, like, they're useless, but he's having them, like, fix his father's gun, which he, like, really cares about. I don't know, tiny note.
Going off context clues of things I've seen before, I'd imagine like a little nerdy dude in the back who kind of gets walked all over but is good at one thing. That'd be what I imagine him.
He's the gun guy. That'd actually
gun
be
guy.
funny. We gun jam so often. He's got a guy on staff for it.
Yeah. Hold on. I can low-key... hold on. Okay, before we get to the water, I can low-key give an explanation for why the gun is jamming. Because it is his father's, and
Yeah.
it's old, combined with the fact that this is something he clearly does often.
Yeah.
I could argue, like if I was defending this in a court of law, I'd be like, it makes sense the gun is jamming because it's clearly been used and it's old, and the reason he has the rat boy on standby is because this is something that happens relatively frequently, so it does make sense for the character, but I don't want to have to do all that to make it work.
Yeah. Well, I'll say even just him shooting the fourth guy multiple times.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about guns, but in my normie brain, I was like, oh, okay, maybe that caused the jam. Yeah. Again, I don't hate it. It's just, especially in isolation, I feel like if it was just one of those things, I'd be like, whatever, that's fine. But
Yeah.
it's just so many of them stack up to make it happen. It's like, bleh.
It is not the Death Star landing and then Rey landing on the planet and being in the specific spot. No, it's not like that.
True. It is not the literal worst thing ever. Good job, Mauler.
Okay. Do you want to say it or should I?
No, go for it.
So on my first watch, there's a lot of references to time. We have the watch on the villain's wrist. We have the clock that ticks at the start of the short film. And now we have the water. And I can understand why this is here. I don't know if this was Mauler's choice or whoever decided to put this freaking water here. We get it. We get it. Like, the water symbolizes that the protagonist is running out of time because his head is literally in the goddamn glass.
Okay.
I wish this cup of water didn't get this focus. I wish it was just something he periodically drank throughout the short film, and if you're a really keen-eyed viewer, you could be like, oh, look at that. The water also symbolizes how he's
Yeah.
running out of time. This felt like we need to hold your hand to make sure you know that this water is symbolic of what is happening in terms
Yeah.
of time, and I just think it could have been handled a bit more delicately.
Yeah, I agree. I think just having it something in the background to appreciate would have been a lot better. I'll say the one benefit you get from this shot and the one like justification for why literally slam the camera down. Again, I prefer if maybe if it was just one shot from this angle, because if the idea is we want to get him framed inside the glass, and maybe even the component being like, oh, he seems like he's trapped, but he's in an open glass, he's actually more free than the villain.
Yep.
And then like once at the end, like, okay, this is a timer for both their lives, not just the protagonist. Him leaving just a little bit in there at the end, like, they do good stuff with it, but again, I feel like I would have appreciated it more if it was just something in the background. Instead of being put in my fucking stroller and shown the glass of water 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like, do you
Maybe
get it?
if,
Like,
if
yes,
they
I get
just if they just show you this shot and then never do the same shot again, but you see him drink the water from a different perspective, that could be something where it's like, oh, remember that glass of water that we saw? That was symbolic of him running out of time and how. And I saw a comment of someone going, "What kind of idiot takes such small sips?" I thought that was funny. How convenient that this guy takes small ass sips. It's so hot out.
Well, he's only got so much water. Actually, I do wonder where that water came from. Fucking barn water is not good.
You have quite the exceptional opportunity to beg.
So now we get to the dialogue part. This is where there's a couple of speed bumps. So idea-wise, I think it's pretty clear, and that's good with how quickly it's made clear. It's very clear that the boss is, I think, trying to basically reassert his power, like this entire scene, where it's like, oh shit, the gun jammed, now I gotta wait to kill this guy, which he doesn't really have to wait, and it's why him saying, like, I do not benefit from this. It's like, if the jam is fake, if the jam is like an actual jam, and he's just like annoyed, like, fuck, I wanted to kill this guy and get going with my day, it does really seem like, dude, why just kill him then? Like, pull out the knife and kill him. Do you really, like, what kind of, I don't know. To me, the whole, I only ever kill with my father's gun, even when I'm in a hurry and pissed off about, like, not being able to kill someone immediately. I don't love that as a justification. But I do kind of like the idea of being, okay, well, you know, maybe he's already been bothered by the fact that this guy won't react to him. Maybe this is him extending his life simply because he wants to get something out of this guy before he kills him. He needs to feel like he gets some kind of victory or has some kind of control. But yeah.
You have quite the exceptional opportunity to beg. I suggest you take it.
Who were they?
Do you want to die, little man? They were scum.
And I guess for the purposes of the story, it doesn't really matter the specifics of who they are. I will say, though, not actually, at least for me, I don't actually know why these people are all here, why they were being killed, who they were, per se. And there are lines that allude to who they were and why they were killed that are just confusing because I feel like we are intentionally deprived of information. So those lines are just kind of meant to sound nice, where I don't know if they actually have a meaning. But I'll signpost them when we get there.
This goes to my point, and I want to see how this grows as this video progresses, of the lines have a vibe to them, where you can really tell when he was writing them, like, what is the thing that I can say is the most interesting or the most compelling, instead of them just flowing naturally. And I really struggle to put it to words, but something about it just feels a little off.
Yeah.
I know. Enough.
So, right there, protagonist says, do you know what they did? And the way he delivers that makes it sound like he knows what they did, which even the boss, like, kind of goes off of, but then the guy's like, I don't know who they were, I didn't shoot them. I don't know, just a weird delivery. I would have had him re-deliver it, because again, it just really makes it sound like he knows who they were, and he's, like, challenging the boss.
Yeah. So I don't hold it against this short film as a criticism that we don't know everything about all the characters, because it doesn't have the time to establish it. My biggest thing with this rewatch is, do I come out of it understanding enough for their deaths to be compelling? And I don't think so.
I guess in isolation, yeah, like, their deaths aren't compelling. But as far as do I know enough for their deaths to, like, service the story, I'd say yes. Where it's like, do you know what they did? I know enough. And clearly the implication is, no, you don't. Because A, one of these guys is, like, about to kill you. But B, like, you know, he kind of like with the gas attack, the whole conversation, like, it's best to know what you take. What gets this guy in this position, what gets both of them here, is the boss being willing to, like, kill basically without, like, basically killing strangers, people he doesn't know. He gasses an entire church just to try to get one snitch. And that's ultimately what prompts this to happen. The idea being like, okay, this is one of his biggest fuck ups. This is probably his like his mortal sin, where he keeps killing people without knowing what he's taking per se. Which all that works.
And that's
nice.
what leads to his demise. Yeah.
Most men are cowards.
Yeah, like that line, I don't I don't know what he means. I don't know what he's referring to when he says most men are cowards.
Hmm.
Do you?
No. I just think this was general broad stroke villain trying to come off cool. The only thing I can draw from it is it's like it works in a sense where the man in front of him isn't, and he's trying to undercut him, but I don't think there's much to analyze here. I think it's just like dialogue between villain and protagonist, low key.
I want to give Mahler more credit and be like, if he wrote it, like there's probably a reason it's there. So I just don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something.
Well, I think I gave you the answer, right? I mean, he's saying most men are cowards, but the man in front of him isn't. Like he's trying to get a measure of him. But that like I don't think there's more to extrapolate.
I don't. It seems like he's talking about something else. That's what I mean. I don't know what he's referring to. It seems like he's still talking about the hostages, like they're cowards, but I don't know. I don't know what he means by them being cowards.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about them, it's about you.
That exchange is a little, I don't know, dramatic for my taste, but I think the actual exchange, like itself, is pretty good. Where he's
It's
like, oh, go ahead.
No, I'll go after. Sorry.
Where if the idea is like he's unnerved by this guy, he's not getting the control that he wants, and then the guy like, it really upsets him and annoys him, and maybe even confuses him that the man is more concerned about the people who are already dead than he is about the living guy who's about to kill him. Which again really ties well into what he's here to do.
It's a great bit of just physical characterization by having him turn around and not even acknowledge him, and then having the villain have to clap like a child to get his attention because he just doesn't have it. This isn't about them, and then the protagonist cutting off with you comes off a bit pretentious.
Yeah.
And it comes off. I know Mauler really likes like arguments through word, like Varus and Littlefinger, Silco and Vander, that kind of back and forth where they're having a war with their words and words alone. But I think sometimes the best battles are ones that aren't spoken, and him going about you. I think it would have been better if he kind of let him say about me and then just like didn't respond, because a lot of that is a lot of word battle isn't just in what you say, it's in what you don't and how you let the other person keep talking.
Oh wait, so
I don't know, but
you think he was about to say it's about me, not because I thought he was about to say it's about you to the hostage, and then the hostage flips it on him and says like, no, this is about your ego, basically.
yeah,
That was
so
my read.
that came out wrong. That's what I meant, but I think hold on, sorry. What I'm trying to say is I think with this entire thing, sometimes less words would have been better. So the villain says, this is about you, and then what if the hostage just doesn't respond? Because if he doesn't give him that backboard to respond with, then it's just like, is it about me? You
Yeah.
sure? I think that would have been a little more compelling, but I get why he did the cutoff, and I don't think it's awful.
Yeah, for me, it's more so just the boss's reaction, where he's like, this is one of my bigger complaints with the boss, where if the idea is this is a man who's all about control, I wish there was a bit better of a facade of control, especially when we got the suave actor with the nice clothes and like the cool voice. I can't help but think like, I don't know, I feel like that's what was wanted. And then that's not really what they got, because again,
Yeah.
it almost feels like the actors go, they kind of go like full badass mode a little too early, basically.
A little too early, yeah.
Yeah, like it's already happening, you know what I mean? Like the protagonist is already like finishing his sentence and like making a poignant point about like this all servicing the man's ego.
This goes to my point about the water. You know what you're getting yourself into way too quickly. And I think this story would have benefited from mystery lingering longer.
Yeah. And yeah, like pretty much the same thing with the boss, where it's like if he had just, I wish he had kept up the illusion of like control.
It's about you.
While playing with borrowed time, I do not benefit from this.
I'll say it seems like the blood is a little inconsistent just while you're watching.
I'm thinking that was to dodge like YouTube issues. more
Oh,
than anything.
uh,
Maybe.
maybe it's just with that shot overhead. Maybe it's just because it's dark enough. You might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
it's
blood is usually
Yeah.
like very red.
yeah, it's fucking black. It's like
Yeah.
I don't see any color.
Yeah, it's like I'm not trying to get too violent, but I saw something pretty bloody the other day, and it was looked a different color.
Yeah, even well, the wounds on their heads are a lot more red.
Yeah.
That could be it. Also, I do want to. I'm pretty sure if you like shoot someone in the head, I don't. It's pretty grave. I want to say like they'd start leaking out of other places.
I feel like he turned it down to put it on YouTube. That'd be my theory.
Yeah.
Like, dude, okay. We get it. We get it.
I don't think I could. You explain the shot to me, Con, real quick.
Maybe for the fourth time, I'll explain it.
Okay.
You have to know a man before you kill him. It's best to know when you take.
So that exchange, pretty good. Especially knowing what we know about the gas attack, like his whole beef being, you fucking killed presumably killed his family, and he wasn't even aiming for them.
I take what this filth throw away.
But then he says the line where he's like, "I take what this filth throw away." And this is another one where this feels like they're trying to tell me, like, kind of explain to me what the hostages are, why they're there, why they were killed. But I don't actually know what the line means where he says, "I take what this filth throw away." Seems they have some buyer's remorse. I cannot for the life of me figure out what that means. My best interpretation was, oh, they're like druggies, and the idea is like they're already throwing away their lives, so he's taking their lives, and it's not a big deal because, you know, they're druggies throwing away their lives already. But then he like asked the protagonist like, who hired you for this job? There's like an implication that he really doesn't know that much about the people he's killing somehow for some reason. And where, yeah, it's just every time like a line alludes to their identity, I just feel like I'm left with a big old question mark. Like I feel like I'm intentionally being kept in the dark. But yeah.
It could also be that what's it called? Like, it almost plays into the fact that he doesn't know the people that he's killing. That goes to the protagonist's criticism of him. So it kind of could be a double-edged sword where it makes the plot a little more confusing, but works for the character.
Yeah.
Other than that, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, well, and like I agree. Like it services the theme and the character. It's just that logistically, I don't really understand how or why that would be happen. Like
You gotta work with the story a lot.
How do you abduct a bunch of people that you don't even? Well, he it seems like he knew the fourth guy, but he doesn't know the protagonist at all. He's like ready to kill him, and it's like, again, like that reinforces the idea that he's careless with life and it's gonna bite him in the ass. But also, again, just logistically, I'm like, how does that happen? How does a mob boss just abduct a random person? Yeah, and I feel like all the information we get is just kind of, it's all just kind of red herrings. Like Mauler didn't even know who they were.
You disapprove? Is there a noble way of killing a man?
This was the first time I was like, oh, Tywin? Did I just hear Tywin?
Yeah.
Where,
You disapprove.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize. No, he literally says that to Tyrion. Oh my god.
He says it to Tyrion. This is the conversation.
Oh my god.
How is it more noble to kill a dozen men at dinner than
It's
1,000?
So that is literally what I was thinking of. That's crazy. It's literally the fucking line before that where he's like, "Do you disapprove?" And he's like, "But to slaughter them at a wedding." Oh my god. Yeah. It's very Tywin.
it's funny, but it's not like it works. It works.
Yeah.
it just always
works.
slaps.
Yeah, it's very funny to see. Tywin is like, I'm pretty sure Mauler's favorite character in fiction, I want to say.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know this.
No, they had they had like a podcast where they like actually just talked about like media in general, and it was super interesting, like talking about what they like the most important factor for like a good story, and then like talking about their favorite characters. And yeah, he talked about Tywin. And I was like, I don't know, it's just again very funny to see. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Book Tywin or show Tywin?
He meant show Tywin.
Okay.
I'm actually so curious. Yeah.
Book Tywin's a little bit of a wuss, so.
I mean, yeah.
You're the one who tells the stories.
Tell stories. You rats all think yourselves unique.
And that's another one where it's like, okay, you're the one that tells the stories. I feel like the idea is that he's calling him out for saying, it's like you tell yourself stories about these people to make yourself feel better. But then he says, you rats all think yourselves I don't know. Do you agree? Is that's my best shot at what that means. Hello?
I think that's a safe explanation. I'm stuck on the rat line because he called the gun, the dude who fixes the gun, a rat as well. So my explanation is he views people as beneath him as vermin.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay. For me, it's just the actual, like, what is being said. I think it's you lie to yourself, and he's saying you think you're special. I don't know. To me, this is like probably the weaker, maybe the weakest exchange. It just
my best explanation could be he's insecure because of his relationship to his father. So when he goes about his business, he has to make sure that they are like lesser than him to validate the way that he acts and his position. That's what I extrapolate from this exchange.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, yeah, that is there, that works. It's just it doesn't. The conversation part of it is broken. I don't. It just doesn't flow. Or you tell. I don't know. I don't even know if I can explain it properly. This just doesn't feel like an actual like exchange where.
Do you dare say the vibe is kind of off?
No, there are never vibes. Yeah, like I said, I really am not. I wish I could like hone in on specifically what's triggering me. It just does not flow for me. The sentences do not. They're just kind of bumping into each other.
You don't know anything about me.
I know enough. Your father would be ashamed. What's left?
So that right there, the moment where he brings up his father and he's like smiling and then he goes, "What?" I wish we had held off on him like kind of snapping at the guy or looking like concerned until that moment. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I do wish there had been some kind of convincing facade at the start rather than it.
This is why I kept saying that sometimes less is more. Because let's say you have the antagonist in a situation where maybe he's not saying as much and doesn't come off so weak up until this moment, and then when the father thing hits, it's like that's when the facade drops.
Yeah.
You know. Also, is the implication that this guy used to work for his father, or just like knew him personally?
So, I don't know. I don't know. We will never know. No one knows. All we know is that this protagonist knows a lot about this guy, like a fucking lot about him. And that's one of the things where it's like I don't really need as much of an explanation for that. That I can track pretty well. Even if he was a nobody, if he loses his whole family in like a gas attack and he becomes,
he's gonna find out.
Yeah, he went Punisher mode. Like whatever. I can totally buy that. For me, for me that. It doesn't. I don't know how he knows so much. It is kind of like how, but also I just literally don't know how. So
His weakness is why his allies were able to walk all over this organization.
yeah, and that was where I was like, okay, hello Tywin. Yeah, this is definitely Tywin. But yeah, and it is literally making the same point as Tywin, and that's why again like, this is why I can't fault a story for being unoriginal because. In another universe, I see this, and I haven't seen Game of Thrones yet. I haven't seen any story with, like, a Tywin proper. And then this character would be, like, the closest thing to a Tywin almost. You know, like, assuming there are also no other characters like Tywin. But, like, in that universe, like, how would I feel about this guy? You know, what would be the assessment? And I think, again, it's... Given the amount of time we have, we learn quite a bit about the boss in a very short amount of time, which I think is very commendable.
I think this boss is a solid character.
Yeah.
I think again, like when we talk about originality, a lot of it comes down to what you've seen, your relationship to the product, your dynamic with the creator and so on and so forth. And I think me and you are in a unique position where we saw this, we're like, we know you like Tywin, like we get it, bro.
Yeah.
But someone who doesn't have that experience with Tywin or with Mauler's channel might just be like, whoa. So I don't think it's fair for us to be like, this is a problem, it's unoriginal,
Yeah.
when reality is like it's only unoriginal because of our unique experience. So
Yeah.
I'll give him the dub. I think this villain is well characterized given
Yes.
the time we have with him.
Yep.
How long you been pouring your own drinks? The weakness is your lack of patience.
And that's this is one of the, I think, the better like kind of poetic lines where he says, how long have you been pouring your own drinks? And like it's him being indirect again with his language and a bit fancy with it, but it's also straightforward and like to the point where it's like, oh shit, like why is the boss pouring his own drinks? And you immediately get the point that the protagonist is making, where it's like, oh, it must be a shit boss. Like whatever you're doing, it's not working because people aren't around you anymore, or you can't even trust people to pour your own drinks at this point.
I was thinking it's the idea of him potentially being poisoned. He's scared of being poisoned via the water, which is ironic considering he's poisoned via the gas at the end of this short film.
Yeah. I'm curious. I wonder if we're supposed to assume like he killed his father or something. Because I'm wondering where like the paranoia from poison would come from if he himself.
Oh, he poisoned his dad?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, that'd be so sick.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I hope so.
And it won't be long before you no longer draw breath.
So,
go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, so I feel like if this had been I don't know, the delivery is pretty intense here. It's a bit extra, but at the same time, knowing who this guy is, knowing that he is literally on a suicide mission and has probably like practiced saying shit in the mirror to this guy, I'm actually okay with a couple things like this where he's like, yeah, soon you're gonna not be drawing breath, and like it is a little like, again, poetic, but it's because he knows that, yeah, you're gonna be huffing on fucking gas soon and then you're gonna die.
He's walking the line, the writing and the dialogue, I mean, between, oh, this is poetic and this is pretentious, and depending on my vibe, I like kind of slip back and forth.
Yeah, I think again, for me, I can understand it because again, as like intense as it is, he's like, and it's so drawn out, he's like, it won't be long before you no longer draw breath. Like it's so fucking like drawn out. But again, this is a man who is like looking death in the face, and he's saying like, yeah, I'm fucking taking you with me. Like I do, and presumably because he like killed a bunch of people he loved at that church. Yep. I just, that there's justification for him because people can be dramatic and serious, you know.
It gives, be careful, monsters are dangerous. Just now, kings are dropping like flies. you can tell what kind of dialogue Mauler likes.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and you're
a little bit of
sitting
praise
there.
here.
Yeah.
I just like the set. I think it's just a cool place to have a conversation. The vibe is correct. It looks good. Feels claustrophobic. I like the set.
Yeah. Actually, I was gonna say, yeah, as far as it being set in a barn, I feel like that also communicates something about the villain, where the apparently, supposedly, allegedly, I don't actually know how reliable this information is, but there's like a friend of the director who put out like a 7-minute review, and he had mentioned a couple things, and one of them was that the intention was to put this in like a New York office building at first, and I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise that they couldn't, because this kind of services, again, the idea that the boss is like a bit more down on his luck, that he's at the end of his rope, and that he doesn't have the crazy resources that, you know, a big successful boss would. And also I do like the idea that, you know, it's a field, it's a remote location, it's a good place to like kill people, and then you have like the place to like bury all their fucking bodies when you're done.
Agreed. It's why the wheat is so fresh or whatnot.
That's why it tastes so good.
This was an
It'd be so funny. It'd be like he owned like the product or whatever. There was some like, I don't know, just some.
His father was actually just a wheat farmer. And he's trying to
These are actually just bad employees. He's not even a gangster.
just bad employees. They betrayed me. They stole the wheat.
Inevitable. Inevitable.
Oh, sorry, I do need to go back.
I'm sitting here and you're sitting there.
So I really like this exchange. This is a good contrast, I think, to the parts of the conversation that have bugged me so far. This flows perfectly. The guy says like, "Yeah, you're gonna fucking die soon," and the boss is like, "Well, fucking how?" So he like smirks, walks away, and he's like, "If you're so informed, why are you even here? I'm about to kill you. Like, why so smug?" And again, it makes sense because it's like, yeah, the boss is wondering what the fuck is this guy's deal.
It's also a very simple line.
Yes.
This is kind of my point, is a lot of these lines, you can tell he's trying to make them complex and make them sound good, and that's all fine and good, but the beauty of good dialogue is when you say something incredibly simple and it has a multitude of meanings. Like, if you're so smart, why are you sitting over there and I'm sitting over here? It establishes so much about both characters, about the way the villain feels in this moment. Just solid dialogue writing here.
You have nowhere better to be.
And this, I think this is my favorite exchange.
Me too.
It kind of sums everything up very nicely. Where, you know, the question, of course, is, well, why the fuck are you here? And I'm here. And he says, it was inevitable. And he goes, what the fuck? What do you mean inevitable? Like, you don't have a friends, family, any other kind of inevitability?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, what kind of man wouldn't? And you want to go?
No, you continue. I'll finish your thought, then I'll go.
No, I don't have anybody left. I don't have friends or family to return to, because some asshole fucking gassed them. But,
Yeah.
you know, the boss doesn't know that yet. And then the other aspect being like, oh, what kind of man wouldn't have friends or family to, like, you know, return to, like, to prioritize in his life? And then I think with this expression...
Any other kind of inevitabilities?
What kind of a man wouldn't?
I think he realizes after he says it, like, oh, wait, you don't have friends or family. Like, shit. Like, I had everything taken from me. You've, like, lost everything through your own shitty choices. And then he smirks at him. And, like, it's probably my favorite exchange in the short. The idea being that there are inevitable consequences. And I feel like that's one of the themes of this story. It's one of the themes of, like, Game of Thrones, or especially, like, House of the Dragon, where you can't, like... It's almost this idea of karma. It's just not karma the way, like, you understand it as a kid. It's the idea that there is a action for every, like, there's a reaction for every action. Everything you do, good, bad, small, big, it will reverberate throughout the world, and in some way it will come back to you, because go figure, you live on the world. And yeah, I feel, yeah, pretty good. Do you get it, Con?
Yes, but I want to say the timing of, like, the bodies, the water, and the symbolic of time running out is interesting. But every time a body is grabbed, you see the villain kind of wince a little bit and get a little uneasy. So I wonder what that means. Like, maybe he's not as strong. Maybe he doesn't have the stomach that he wants to have or pretends he does. And he takes the drink of water to kind of, like, ease that. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. I took it as, like, anxiety, basically. That,
Yeah.
This guy is, like, he's already an anxious person. The protagonist will say later, like, you look tired. The idea being, even subconsciously, this egomaniac understands that all of his choices are occurring, like, some kind of debt that he will eventually have to pay. And that being the reason probably that he just probably lives with anxiety. And now he's got this guy, like, stonewalling him. And then, yeah, every time he's given a reminder of the passage of time, like, one of the bodies being dragged away, he's realizing, shit, like, I still don't have control over this guy.
Yep.
And, yeah, he's just getting more nervous.
You know, you're just the kind of man I'm looking for in this organization. man of loyalty. You loyal? If
I don't get that. So he says, "You're just the kind of man I'm looking for, a man of loyalty," and then he asks if he's loyal.
Yeah. So he makes a statement and then asks the question about the statement. Like, didn't you just come to the conclusion that I am loyal?
Yeah, and yeah, I don't. And it's also just like I don't really know. I
I
think
also think loyalty is the wrong word, personally. Conviction
Yeah.
would have been a better word.
Yes, because it's like I don't know why he's so convinced like this guy is doing this for someone, but maybe he's not convinced because he has to ask him right after that. Again, this exchange is just a little weird. I do want to say too, it makes me wonder because in the like behind the scenes, we get like a one shot of like a bit of the transcript, and it is like a couple words different from the actual lines said. So I am so curious how much liberty was taken from the script and what would have been different if the script was followed more like concisely. Because yeah, a big thing for me is just assessing like, well, how good is Mauler, the man himself, after all this time and all this criticism, and it's kind of muddied by the fact that a bunch of other people are involved, which is of course the nature of making like a big project. At the same time, it's just I do wonder how much is intended, like how many of our criticisms would have been solved if he had actually had a bit more input, like in real time on set.
Yeah, agreed.
I wonder how you're gonna go. Foe.
And yeah, I don't know. This is just again, it makes me wonder like how what is the scenario here? Why does he think he's loyal to someone else? Like, I kind of like the idea of him not picking up on it being conviction, because with like pieces of shit like this, they are constantly projecting. They're always having to convince themselves that everyone is just as like scared and like power hungry as they are, which is why someone like the hostage like can unnerve this guy so much. It's just I just have so many questions about like how we got here. But yeah.
You ever wonder how you're gonna go? Foe, friend, family.
not just a rat, but a snake in the grass.
Okay, actually, I am convinced he killed his father, and that is what that meant. Where he's like, because it's been bugging me. I was like, I don't know, because snake in the grass has like a specific meaning. It's supposed to be someone who like hides their intentions.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's appropriate if this is someone he doesn't know and isn't, like, he's not loyal to him, so where's the snake at? I don't know. Again, just that part is weird. I do like the implication that the father was killed by the son, and it's something that like haunts the son and maybe even like feeds into his anxiety.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you want to live, you better give me something. You achieve nothing dying in this hole. Tell me who you work for. What kind of ransom I could get for you. Who knows, I could pull some strings.
I can't think of anything more.
And so I like the, again, just the overall premise of the conversation where it starts with him being like, I'm going to kill you, like beg. And then he doesn't beg. And now he's getting to the point of like bargaining with him. He's like, tell me who you are. Like, what could I get for you? Do you want to work for me? Like, he just literally trying every avenue he can to like wrangle this man in.
It also
It's not
feeds
working.
into the poison thing where he is so desperate that he clearly has enemies that are out to get him, that he's even willing to broker with people he was going to kill just because deep down he is that uneasy.
Yeah.
Grading and working for you. Maybe being you.
Biting again. You know, I had a Rottweiler once. Vicious little bastard.
So I do like I like that exchange. Just him being like, I can't think of anything more degrading than working for you. Maybe being you. Again, I think the boss's reaction is pretty good, where you can tell it upsets him, but not because he like reacts. It's more so because like it almost feels like he's stifling a reaction, and then you see the protagonist like again smirk, where it's like, yeah, I know that fucking bugged you.
My nephews loved him, and he loved them back. Could see the potential in that.
So
Piece
right
of
there, I like that when he mentions my nephews, he's mentioning family members, and
Yeah,
that's the first time we see the protagonist like uh, choke up a little bit because
Yeah.
that's the root of why he's doing this. It's family.
It when he would.
It really it makes me wonder too, like, what? Because like you said earlier, if he worked for the father before, I wonder if there was like he had some kind of family connection, and he actually like, because the story is him like, oh, I had a Rottweiler, and like my nephews loved it, but the thing hated me. It's like, gee, I wonder why. But also, yeah, he killed it, and then he doesn't mention the reaction, but you imagine like, oh, the poor nephews, you killed the fucking Rottweiler. And I do, again, that reaction makes me wonder like, oh, it really seems like he might have actually had some kind of intimate connection, like he actually knows the story already, and he knows how it affected the nephews. We don't get enough to actually know if that's the case, but it's interesting to think about.
Stare out at the horizon, no matter how hard he came at you. He'd be growling, snapping. But he loved food and fetch and fucking about.
And yeah, he like can't even look at him while he's talking about the Rottweiler. It's so interesting, huh? I will say the this line, I kind of, for the most part, I like it. It does feel just a little too generic, and in a way, it works because it's like, okay, he's a heartless bastard. He doesn't really care about the dog or value it. But it just kind of sounded funny when he's like, he loved food and fetch and fucking about. It's like, that's every single dog ever. Like, every dog loves food. I don't know. It's just it would have added character to the dog, I guess, if that's what I'm looking for. If it had just had like one unique personality trait. But then I do think it says something about the boss that he doesn't know about any of them. He's just like, yeah, it was a dog. Did dog shit.
And I figured eventually he would calm down with age, some perspective. Until he bit me.
And so I do like this, the idea being, okay, he just offered him a job, and now he's telling him the story of the Rottweiler, and it very clearly mirrors the man where he says you could see the potential in his eyes. He's like, I could see, like, this is almost an acknowledgement, I feel, that they're equals. Like,
Yeah.
even if it's not full on it's like, hey, like, level
You
with
got
me.
balls.
Yeah, like, I see value, I see the potential. And then he's making the point, like, I see the potential, but there's also like the evil dark potential where you might fucking kill me. And it's where, yeah, the Rottweiler bit me, and he's saying, I'm not going to give you a chance to bite me, basically.
Yeah. It's well done. This is a good. Yeah, whoa. This is some good back and forth.
Yeah.
And he bit hard. I gave him one more horizon before the end. I figured if he knew what was coming, he'd behave better than a bloody border collie.
Yeah, the protagonist is, I don't know how. I feel like I was not registering all this, but he's like extra emotional.
I figured if he knew what was coming, he'd behave.
He like, I swear, he knew that fucking dog.
He knew the dog.
He knew the dog.
It's funny.
Better than a bloody border collie.
Maybe he took that last horizon as a blessing.
Excuse me.
Do you ever wonder how little time...
I don't. So what do you think the protagonist means when he says
Play
that?
the next sentence. I want to hear what he says next. I'll give my answer.
you have left?
Do you ever wonder how little time you don't?
How little time does an
Keep going a
animal
little
have?
longer.
A rat, snake, dog. Are you just getting more comfortable killing me?
Do I look uncomfortable to you?
You look tired.
Is the implication that he is enjoying this, like that? Because the dog enjoyed.
Replay
Go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's a blessing.
Excuse me.
Do you ever wonder how little time you have left?
Do you ever wonder
Alright, so
how
you
little
can
time
talk
you
about that.
don't?
What's up?
I think he's trying to say that maybe the villain misunderstands the enjoyment that the dog got from the time that it had, even the time it had biting him. So could that be symbolic of the villain misunderstanding the protagonist's reasons for being here?
If that was the case, then yeah, that is not the read I got at all. I didn't.
What read you got?
So to me, it seemed more here.
Do you ever wonder how little time you have left?
Do you ever wonder?
Maybe he took that last hurrah.
Okay, yeah. So what throws me is, so the idea is the dog likes staring at the horizon. So like the dog likes watching sunsets. And then the boss killed the dog while it was watching the sunset. Presumably so the dog wouldn't see it coming. It was like kind of a mercy.
Yeah.
But then the guy says maybe he took that last horizon as a blessing. Well,
wait, hold on, because
me,
I think I have it. Sorry to cut you off. The dog looks at the horizon as like a bit of peace, right?
Yeah.
And the villain shoots him seemingly in the back of the head. That's what he ends up doing to the protagonist at the end of his life. So in the protagonist's final moments, there's a bit of peace that he gets, and he enjoyed that last hurrah, like his last bit of life, even though his time is running out. Like he still enjoyed just getting the closure of seeing the horizon, the same way the protagonist gets the closure of knowing that his death isn't for nothing, that the villain is going to be killed with it.
That is my problem with it, where I get the idea on the boss's end. I don't know how it just sounds like it's overly poetic, where the dog doesn't know that's the last horizon. Like I don't know how the dog could take the last horizon as a blessing when it doesn't. Again, it probably doesn't comprehend, like, oh, I bit my mob boss owner and he's gonna fucking execute me. Sun goes down.
I think it's just more the idea of getting to experience the beauty of life even in death. I think that's what he's getting at, and I can appreciate that, even if the dog, doesn't have that complex understanding.
Gotcha.
It's a blessing. Excuse me.
See, I'm the boss in that moment. I go, what the fuck you mean by that? How does the dog understand the last horizon?
Do you ever wonder how little time you have left?
Do you ever wonder how little time you don't?
I actually like that. It's not even like the best way of like responding, but it's just very snappy and again like impatient, which is very in character for what we didn't know about this guy. He's just like he's like fuck off. Like the protagonist is basically just, he's not doing anything.
He's rage baiting
that
him.
the boss wants him to. Yeah, he's driving him crazy.
How little time does an animal have? A rat, snake, dog.
I don't know. This is another one. I feel like I'm saying this a lot. I don't know what he meant by this. This just feels like
at the start of the short film, he calls the people that he kills rats, and is seemingly relating the protagonist to a rat. Then he calls him a snake, because sure to go. And then now the protagonist is establishing himself as the dog.
So he's just saying it to reference all the animals?
Yes.
Okay. I guess that's what I'm interpreting the question as an actual question where he says, how much time does an animal have? Dog, fish, cat? And I don't even know what that question, it's like, it depends on the situation. I don't know. It just, to me, it seems poetic and it doesn't really mean anything. And, it references all the animals, which was the goal, but yeah.
It references the animals, yeah.
Are you just getting more comfortable with killing me?
Do I look uncomfortable to you?
You look tired.
And here we're back to good exchanges, where he's just said, are you getting more comfortable with killing me? And he says, do I look uncomfortable? And I love that he like props himself up as he says it, because so much of this is like a performance. It's all about him like helping his ego and like pretending to still be in power even when he's not. So I just love the idea that he's like, do I look uncomfortable? And he, without even realizing it, he's already propping himself up to try to like make himself look better to this guy who's about to be dead. Like, it's so the insecurity is insane. It's like, don't think less of me, person who I really shouldn't care about your opinion. It's crazy. But yeah,
it's Tywin building the tunnel.
Yes. Yep.
Tired of the world you've made and the debt it's collecting.
This is, again, Tywin. Also makes me think of Chernobyl. Also makes me think of our shitty country and what's going on with it. And I like how the boss goes quiet after that, which to me just affirms, like, yep, he's protagonist was right. What his assessment was completely correct, and the boss is bothered by how correct it is. Where it's like, yeah, I'm tired, I'm anxious, I can't fucking sleep or like get other people to pour my own drinks, and it's referencing the debt that's collected, which again would tie really well into the idea that he's perhaps poisoned his own father, where yeah, it's like the debt, you know, the cost of him killing his own father is having to live without any peace of mind. Every time he takes a drink now, he has to wonder who he can trust, because who the fuck can he trust after killing his own father? Do you get it? Do I need to go back? Hang on.
I get it.
Okay, just for the audience, just got to make sure.
You know, I'm not unreal.
I'm curious what you think of that.
I'll go back for a split second.
I love that. That reaction is great. It's fucking meme worthy.
Are you serious, my guy?
That's so good.
It's just a rejection of the villain's identity and that they are equals. It's like, you are not my equal. Fuck you, bro. That's just what I take it as.
Okay. I feel kind of... Yeah, no, that's definitely what it is. In my head, it was almost like he had kind of had too cordial of a conversation, and he was realizing, like, oh yeah, I fucking hate this guy. Just something to spite him. But yeah, I do like the idea of him being, like, rejecting, like, yeah, you're not on the same level as me.
Tell me who you work for.
You'll meet them soon enough.
Pretty good answer.
Yeah, that's a good line. That's a good line.
Yep. Because he's doing it for presumably whoever he lost in the attack. And
Oh, wait.
I
actually remember.
Actually, that's not good. Because the boss...
What do you mean?
That means they went to hell. The boss is going to meet them in hell.
Hop off. Hop off. I remember this. I actually heard this from EFAP years ago. It was Mauler. They were dissecting Silco's dialogue from episode 2 of Arcane, going over how, like, they believe a measure of good dialogue is when something very short is said and you could take it multiple ways and all of them are equally interesting. Like, 3 words could mean 10 different things, and that was a good example of that, where it could be, oh, like, you're gonna meet them as in you're gonna meet people who it's just, you get it. It's multifaceted. It's good stuff.
Well, it's also, and that's something I really should mention. There are parts of this that you can only really appreciate. There are a lot of parts of this that you can only really appreciate after you've seen it once and you have the full context, which storytelling wise, I really appreciate that. I will say, I feel like this overdoes it in the sense that it is too vague and too, like, kind of just, you don't really have a good idea of what's going on enough to appreciate the characters and the plot the first time you see it. And I want to say, with the best kinds of movies, you don't need to know the twist to, like, really enjoy it the first time. I think the Prestige is a good example, where you're having a great time the whole time anyway, and then the ending happens, and then you're like, oh my god, like, that changes everything. But yeah, it goes from being already great to, like, incredible. Whereas this kind of goes from being meh to good, where it's like, I don't feel we're given enough to really follow the first time through.
Yeah.
But that could just be me being slow.
The gas. Snitch deserved it.
And what did the parish deserve?
And that's a pretty good, again, Tywin, where it's like, oh, this guy gassed a church, an entire fucking church, to kill one snitch. And yeah, pretty ridiculous, and it's the kind of thing that, yeah, might inspire somebody to try to fucking get rid of him.
Things considered. Besides,
Also very ironic, him being like, they died well, and it's like, yep,
Yeah.
wonder how you're
It's
gonna
he's
feel
not
about
a
that.
guy. Yeah.
Wonder if you're gonna think you died well.
the city now has a real god to pray to.
Does that mean, like, he's made martyrs out of all the people he killed? What does he mean by that?
No, I think he's talking about himself.
Oh, he's the god because people fear
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Because that's his whole thing, is like he views his father as this otherworldly thing, and now he's kind of dethroned him, and now he's become the god that they're going to fear and worship.
That's so. I guess in my head, I just assumed, like, okay, even, like, yeah, he knows about who did it because the protagonist knows everything. He's hunted this guy. I guess I didn't think of it being like something like a mob boss would just come out and say like, yes, I gassed the church, fear me.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it'd be in character. I don't know. That's pretty crazy. I don't know if there's ever.
Well, he's a pretty crazy guy, so.
For all the talk, you're still a money man at heart.
And I really like that, where this is the most satisfied the boss has been for quite some time. Where again, I feel people like this, the scum of the earth, who just take and take and take. I think in their heart they know what they are, and they know that what they're missing is like the strength and the courage to make the noble choices, to sacrifice some part of themselves in their lives to do the right thing and live like a more honest life.
What I like about this dynamic is we've been shown time and time again that even though these people are on very different sides, they have similarities between one another. But there's this, like you said, foundational difference that protagonist can see, villain cannot, or antagonist cannot. And that's what leads to the villain's demise.
Well, it's one that antagonist really doesn't want to. Where again, that's why he's so happy in this moment. He's like, yes, you're just like me. you're a money man. You're not here for any crazy conviction. And yeah, which honestly, good move on the hostages part. 'Cause it's kind of bad to be like, when he says like, I'm here because of the gas attack, crime boss's alarm bell should be going crazy. It should be like, whoa, wait, that's why I thought you were here for a job. Wait, you're here because I killed a bunch of people. Like, that should have like set him off. But I'd like to think the hostage says this next part to go like, oh yeah, yeah, it's for the reward. Because if he thinks too much about like why he's here, he might get suspicious. And it's also, so you'd assume it's money, but really the reward is getting to kill the man. Which, yeah.
Start acting like a man before I slit your fucking throat.
And yeah, this is like the peak of him losing his control. Like, the composure completely falls apart. Also, there's like no blood on the floor. But he
God, continuity error. God, this is shite.
this is garbage. 0 out of 10. But yeah, so he loses his composure and he says, start acting like a man. And it kind of goes back to what I said, where people like this have to convince themselves that they're the ones being manly. They're the ones being strong. And that when they actually see strength, it pisses them off. It terrifies them. It confuses them. Because some part of them, I feel, understands like, shit, I'm powerless here. This guy keeps stonewalling me. And you finally see in this moment where he's like, start fucking begging for your life, goddammit. Like, he's just so fed up. He's like, why can't I control you?
Yo, not having blood here, it's just so funny. Like, after you said it, like, everything you said was true. I just can't get over the fact that, like, we're shown so much blood. They're just in a fucking clean room.
Mike is really good at cleaning, okay?
Oh my god. Yeah, Mike's been silently with the mop just going around them. Like one of the people at the gym when you're running, just going around you.
That'd be oh my god.
You just see Mike in the corner.
Pushing the mop bucket. And I do like that. So we know he doesn't actually want to kill him with the knife. And I do like that this also prompts the protagonist to ask, like, okay, so why didn't you just use your subordinate's gun? And we also have it all capped off with, like, the gun being fired in the back to presumably test it, you know, after it's been cleared. And yeah.
Also, this is the first time we saw the protagonist really shake. Like, there was true fear when he pulled the knife. So is the implication that, like, he needs to be shot in the head for the gas to work?
I don't think so. I think he just needs to die. My read is just because for me, if it's literally he needs to be shot in the head, that's yet another point where it's like, well, pretty lucky you weren't shot in the chest like the other guy. But also for me, it makes more sense that it's like getting shot in the head, you're not gonna feel it. You know, you're just gonna die. Getting cut in the throat, holy fucking
That's
shit, that is terrifying. Oh my god. Like, yeah, so that's just how I read it. He's like, oh shit, this is gonna fucking hurt.
Right.
The plague, it ain't about to stop now. Besides, it was my...
That's a tricky line for me, honestly. I feel like on one listen,
Half
I'm
of
like,
Europe?
Well, no. Sorry, not the number. For me, it's more the. Sorry, I'm just picturing this guy like killing people just all day, every day now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the idea being like, oh, he's killed a lot of people. Like my gun has taken more people than the plague. It's not about to stop now. I don't know. I feel like so like evenly mixed on that line where I feel like it's a little too much, but I also feel like it's perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really don't know how I feel about that one. I feel
I
like
think it's fine.
That's good.
It's a neutral line to me. It doesn't stand out as both as either a pro or a con. It's just line.
Yeah. I will also, it's not a good justification. It's a partial justification. I feel like the better reason is like it's my father's. The idea being like I'm not about to end my gun's kill streak is kind of ridiculous. But it being like, oh, I only kill with my father's gun. Like
I'm literally about to drop a nuke with this thing, bro.
yeah. Yeah.
Your father's legacy ends with you.
And this is, to me, this is just like the like it won't be long before you draw breath no longer, where it's like, yeah, it's very intense, it's very, but it's also like, yeah, this man, I just believe it. This is a man on a suicide mission, and he's about there. I like that too. Once again, the hostage kind of, I feel like, retaking control. He like chills out after like initially flinching, because I think he realizes like, yeah, you're not gonna kill me. Like you would have just used your subordinate's gun probably. And then yeah, so once he realizes like, oh, you're fucking bluffing, he pulls his head away, which I feel like for most people the instinct would be not to move a fucking muscle when the knife is against your throat. Which again is just a bit more defiance. Him for the 100th time being like, yep, you're not in charge here.
Yep.
So I want to say at the very start, although it was like vague, there's a very clear like attempt to, okay, this guy sees so many people, most people, maybe even all people as beneath him, to the point where he has like this ritual of killing people, and part of the ritual is taking the hoods off right before like they die. So he wants to like relish the moment where they realize they're about to die. And there's kind of a mini arc here where the protagonist earns enough respect, I think, to it's really shown, I think, in that shot where he's pushed up and they're like standing face to face. But he's earned enough respect to get a fake death instead of some sadistic like, you know, attempt to like draw fear out of him right before, because he goes from, again at the start, wanting him to be scared presumably before he dies, to giving him, you know, one last horizon, as it were, pretending he's
Yeah, like the dog.
live. Yeah. Wombo from the editing bay, I'm realizing now that's probably what that line from earlier meant when he said maybe the dog took that last horizon as a blessing. Maybe it meant more so that the dog knew there was a risk that there would be repercussions, and he took the what seemed like not getting punished as like an endorsement of his behavior, the same way that we've interpreted this fake out death as like a sign of respect for this man. So this is my favorite shot of the glass. I still think we could have done without pretty much all the shots. I do like a point being made though about like there's just a little bit left, showing that like, A, there's a little bit more time in the story, we're almost done, but B, it shows the boss thinks he still has time, you know, he's still going to be able to finish that glass of water.
I feel like I'm letting myself live.
I like that exchange quite a bit too, where he's like praising him, and then he's like, it ends with, I feel like I'm letting myself live, which A, showing the fucking ego, where it's like, I respect this person, they're just like me. It's, you know, it's just finally an equal. It's like, and they of course they remind me of himself, where it's like, again, just showing like, yeah, he like sees himself as like a different level than other people.
I think the line is a little on the nose. I don't know if we needed him to say, you remind me of me, for us to understand that there is clearly similarities between the two, but I do like the idea.
For me, it was more, I really appreciate him saying like, I feel like I'm letting myself live, because it's It's a ploy to like make the hostage think he's sincere, and B, the irony is that yeah, if he had let him live, he would have lived himself. So yeah, he would
That
have
is
let
true.
himself live if he had not killed this guy.
That's cool. I didn't think about that. You're right.
You didn't flinch when the gun jammed. Why?
We're in good time.
The blood's back.
Is that the chair? Why is he over there? I'm so confused. The shot is weird. How did
A
he?
lot of blood in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Also, this makes it, I don't know, weird shot.
Mom.
Okay. So, first off, I know a lot of people probably go like, well, why can't he hear the device? Like, it's really weird to hear the loud click, 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 and then he doesn't react to it. But also, there is the ticking in the background, which again suggests it's on a timer, which is not a good thing. Unless I guess it's suggesting a heartbeat timer, which yeah, I guess, yeah, I'll eat my words. That's probably fine. But you hear the timer ticking down, and then it, it goes off, and he has to he goes to loot him. I don't know what he's
Loot him.
I don't know what he's fucking doing. He's he literally walks over, stands over his body, legs on either side, and then crouches down. I don't know why he's doing that.
I'm gonna give you my a reason I could see. You let me know if this works. So throughout the short, we see Mike be the one to grab the bodies, and there's this element of those people are disgusting, so I don't want to touch them. And maybe because of the dynamic and respect that he's built up for the protagonist over the course of the short, he's like, you know what, for you, I'll dispose of you myself. Kind of like how he does with the dog, and that's why he shoots him in the back of the head.
Maybe.
Does that work as an explanation for you?
That is probably the best explanation. I just don't. I don't buy that crime boss, suave suit, power hungry man would lower himself, even if he did respect the guy after a few minutes of conversation. I don't think he'd lower himself, literally lowering himself to pick up the corpse of a victim.
Well, my rebuttal would be he's not, because the whole point of this whole conversation is that in many ways they are equals. I think the stronger response is just even still, Mike should just do it, maybe. Or where is Mike in this moment? You could do that as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely I think there's no perfect way to get him to the position where he just inhales this gas.
Yeah.
And I think this was my explanation is the best one I can come up with. I would want to know if I'm right, if this was authorial intent or just death of the author kind of thing.
Yeah, I am very curious if Mauler was in the room. I'm so curious what he would have done to try to fix. Because my thought with this is okay, so he's got the gas in his body. It would presumably have to exit his his mouth, his nose.
How does the gas
And that's the thing.
Work?
So that's where
what?
so much of this shit falls apart because of the visual fucking cues, where it's okay, I could see how this might work, but when you're actually watching it,
Inevitable.
it comes out the back of his fucking shirt. It doesn't pour out of his mouth, and that made me.
Wait a second. Is it in his shirt?
Well, he would have been searched, so it has to be in his fucking body. Otherwise, this guy's a moron, and now he dies because he's a moron who didn't search him.
Is it coming out of his butt and following up the shirt? Where is this gas coming from?
I don't know. Thing is, I feel like it would have to come out of his mouth. If it was me, I would have had it just come out of his mouth. Especially because if he knows he's going to be executed in a chair style, then that would actually justify he gets shot and then it pours out of his mouth aimed at the guy who just shot him,
Have you seen Dune?
No. Actually, yes, I have. It's been so long. I remember nothing.
Do you remember when Leto has the fake tooth and crunches on it when when the Harkonnen dude is in his face? Do you remember this?
No.
Essentially, there's just good guy protagonist wants to kill bad guy, waits for him to get really close, crunches down on tooth that releases cyanide. I feel that would have been a better way of getting the villain,
Yeah.
or
if they could have found a way to poison him through the drink, that would have been so much better. I would have loved that.
I feel like there's no logical explanation for this gas.
The problem there can be. It's just that the way that they chose to like portray it doesn't. Again, I feel like if it was implanted in his body, it's like time to like stop when his heartbeat stops or whatever. I don't know how that would work, but giving as much charity as I can, like he could have the device set to go off when he dies, and if it comes out of his mouth, presumably when he's facing the boss, you know, if there's something to like propel it, that'd be a decent way of killing the boss. It's just with the way it's shown, it looks like he has the gas coming out of his shirt, and it comes out really slowly, and it's super visible. And I can let go of the. I don't think the boss hears what we hear, but he has to see what we see. What are you doing? He's just like, oh, what is this? There's gas. Like it's almost like he's checking out the gas. Like, oh,
I know I have this issue of poison, but what is
this? This brings back memories for some reason. And yeah, like it's just awkward because it's so transparent. Where, again, if it had been a bigger bomb, that kind of introduces an issue with like the protagonist being a fucking hypocrite. But it would have been like, okay, you're less of an idiot and you made sure you killed the boss guy. And again, but he could be like, oh, I know you and anyone who works for you like are scum, and like if you have someone prisoner here, they're dead anyway, so I'm not really killing anybody.
It has to be coming out of his butt. If it's in his body and it's not coming out of his mouth, there's only one other exit where the gas could be leaking.
This is actually so because I don't even know.
It has to be coming out of his butt.
The thing is, like, visually, it's the thing. If it was coming out of his butt, the visual would look different. But at the same time, we can't trust the visual because it can't be actually coming out of like his collar. Like, because then where would it be stored?
Because then if it's in his back, then how is he not being checked?
Yeah.
Like, if it's something physical that is on his body, there's no way. Wait. Hold on. Chat. What if Mike knew about it and was letting it happen? And that's why we see at the start that he's like wincing. And then what if he set the gun up to jam? How the fuck could he do that? Yeah, but like what if Mike knows? Mike says, yeah, I searched him, but Mike didn't actually search him. And Mike, because unless Mike does that, there is literally no logical way for this gas to be deployed. Because if it's in his body, it should be coming out of his mouth. So it should be face down. And that obviously wouldn't work because his head is on the floor, so it wouldn't even radiate up. If it was coming out of his butt, like, if we're being serious, if it's up there, it'd be coming out of his jeans, which means it has to be in the back of his shirt. And we know that Mike is the one who brings these people to the chairs. And I would assume obviously searches them, or so either Mike or the rat that he references one time at the start of the show have to have known there was a gas thing.
Thing is, it's just they can't be, because like if the point is just that Mike helped somebody kill the boss, Mike could just shoot the boss when his gun jams. Like there's just so many easier ways for him to like again that.
Wait, what if it was the rat though? What if it was the rat? What if the rat was the one who rigged the bomb?
There's just no way.
No?
What is there to indicate that the rat? We don't even see the. I just don't think there's anything to indicate that. I think we are literally at a point where just this does not make sense. The gas trap, the way it is portrayed, like it cannot work the way it works if it looks the way it looks. You know what I mean?
I don't know, bro. I feel like I've come up with a pretty good explanation. The question is
the rat. Wait, like the rat that's headcanon for you?
You don't
There's
think that
no
it makes
way.
sense for Mike or the rat?
I don't see. The thing is, it doesn't. Because again, if the point is that the rat is just helping somebody kill him, we don't have any indication that he was again. It feels like we're just, because the visual is wrong, we're trying to provide reasons for why it wouldn't be. And I think the visual is just wrong.
Cool.
Your reason does sound cool, and I like the idea of, again, like his own workers turning on him. But I don't think we're given like almost anything to indicate that that's what's happening.
This is kind of my issue with the whole thing is, and why I said at the start of this video that
Should
I think
poison
this is a
him.
great foundation. Like, I think there's a lot of great stuff that he does here in terms of for the future you could learn from both your pros and cons. But this smoke coming out of the shirt, unless the audience comes up with a legal memo as to why it makes sense, you're just left going, huh? Huh?
Yeah.
And you know what? I would be accepting of the just don't think about it if Mauler wasn't like the quintessential
The king of thinking
villain.
about it.
Yeah, king of thinking about it compared to people.
Yeah, which is why again,
Yeah.
like I just think I feel like we've approached it from every angle. There isn't actually like a satisfying answer. I feel like the most sensible answer is that it doesn't look right. It should just be coming out of his mouth or his jeans. Which yeah.
I'm being more generous than I honestly thought I was going to end up being. I thought I was going to be a little more like critical. And I feel like there are explanations. It's just like
Not for
I'm
this.
doing the work for them and I
Yeah.
don't know. There isn't enough tact for me to be like, yes, this was for sure planned, you know?
Yeah, I'd like again, I feel like we have hints of Mike being like, a problem. It's just we're not
Yeah.
shown enough.
Not our like one-off joke being the the element of conversation ending this. Just the story kind of lives and dies with Mike right now.
Mike helped the guy. The gas came out of his butt. End of story.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah, it could have been a lot cleaner, and it is unfortunate because so much of this is like the twist that recontextualizes everything, and it recontextualizes some stuff in a bad way. A lot of the dialogue, especially now that like we've talked about it, a lot of it actually has like multiple meanings that are really cool when you have the context, and there's a bit more to dig into and speculate. There's some stuff where I wish it'd be a bit more certain so I could actually like praise it. But like I don't know if I can praise it for like him poisoning his father when I don't know if that's actually what happened or if I'm just reading that into it because it'd be cool and like would fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Why don't we just finish it because I think there's like a little few more seconds left.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so again, him just not reacting to the gas coming out.
It's a
of the
goober death.
fucking
It's a goober death.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunate.
I like the "oh God" line just because he was talking about how he was a god and now in his final moments he's
Oh.
appealing to a real god.
Yeah, even the I saw a comment where someone's like, "Really? Why do you say no?" And it's like people do say no when they're like panicking or in pain, and I actually
Yeah.
really like it because it's desperate. It's him going, "Fuck, like shit."
That's what you say when you see my text and don't respond for 12 hours.
And actually, shit, fuck. Okay, so one of the comments I made was like, okay, well, if it was like a big old gas bomb, then like that'd be like hypocritical because like the hostage would be taking out other people that he doesn't know enough about. But apparently he was doing that anyway because like like the gas does spread. It starts to fill the room. Why not have it just explode instantly? Because you could get rid of this awkward moment where the boss has to like loot him and like linger over the gas as he sees it coming out.
Get the ammo.
Like he yeah, again, it would have been better. Again, it's a small change that would have actually fixed quite a bit if it actually just explode. Because then the boss doesn't have to do anything goofy. The protagonist is a lot smarter because he's not relying on like convenient timing or positioning. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't know if we needed the last shot of the clock.
And it's stopping, and that's the other thing where it's like this might be an answer to like the problem at the beginning where again I feel like the implication is that the bomb is being set to a timer, and I feel like that was a mistake having that implication in there.
Maybe Mike set the clock to stop at the same time as the bomb. That way the protagonist would know when his time would come.
Oh shit.
Yo, I am coming up with
That's
all of the
better.
arguments for Mike right now.
I do like that idea quite a bit because that would explain the convenient like and it stops or whatever, like it is a literal timer.
Shit, bro. I need to know. And now I need to know. Like, was Mike the one setting this up?
I don't think he was.
Okay.
Hmm.
Maybe this is me being too Song of Ice and Fire brand.
Maybe. Maybe.
I like it ending over the horizon with the sunset.
Yep. Horizon, and it's the wheat field where
Mhm.
I guess that's me adding it in, but I assume this is where all the bodies are kept. The
Yeah.
idea being like this is the man has finally, paid his debt for the insane like
Now Mike's
carnage
gonna
he's
put his
wrought.
body in the weed.
If Mike was in again though, like why can't Mike just shoot
Okay,
the boss?
I'm just gonna be honest. I am completely bought into this headcanon, and I
You
need to
are
know
all right. You're wrong. Why wouldn't Mike just shoot him?
how am I wrong?
What? Because I'm asking you, why can't Mike just shoot him? If the idea is, hey, Mike, you hate your boss, right? Yeah. Well, I want to kill your boss, so help me kill him. Why can't Mike just do it?
Because if the boss, like, okay, if Mike shoots the boss, then
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, who shot the boss? And then if Mike's like, the protagonist shot the boss, then they're gonna be like, how did you miss that? If the boss is shot and killed, it makes it so much more obvious that Mike was either at worst purposeful in the boss's death, at bare minimum negligent in the boss's death. If he goes, yeah, I checked him, he had a cyanide tooth that gas came out of and he killed the boss, then it's like, oh my god, that's insane. Like, how would you have known about the cyanide tooth? But if he just shoots the boss, like, the boss is clearly powerful. Maybe he's not the most powerful, but he clearly has some people, like, maybe some people that support him or whatnot. Mike could be like, I don't know, you know?
Okay. I
Do you not like that argument?
it seems too convoluted. If the whole thing is this man has like this elaborate scheme to gas the boss and Mike's gonna help him do it, it just seems so convoluted. I don't see why Mike couldn't find some other way to discreetly get rid of the boss, or even why honestly why would it matter if people knew he killed the boss? Why can't he run away? Like if the idea is this is a Tywin, he's already squandered his legacy, he's ruined the empire, he's lost all the allies. Who the fuck is gonna avenge his death? Like,
Well, I think you're in the error of we just don't know enough. Like we just needed more to explain this, and I agree with you, but that's not the short film's fault. That's the fault if it's not a longer film.
I don't follow. Sorry, can you repeat?
What you're getting at, like it's a valid criticism, but I don't think it's a valid criticism of the short film. It's a criticism of I wish there was more. You get what I'm saying? Like I wish this would have like an hour
Well, I mean,
instead of 10 minutes.
I'm not criticizing. I don't believe the Mike theory. Like, and that's I don't.
Alright.
I'm not. I just don't see it. I don't see enough to,
Alright.
especially be like completely confident in it. I can see the merit. I really like the timer idea. It explains like the visual. It's just there's not all the pieces weld together like close enough. To me, it really
Maybe-
just seems like it's a bit more convoluted.
Okay. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. It's fine.
Who knows?
Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit.
What's that?
I'm giving myself too much creative credit.
And there we go. That
Not
was
us. Not us coming up with a whole thing about a nameless character and giving him a name.
it. I'm surprised we didn't name them. We only named Mike. We had two people who actually like spoke the entire time, and we didn't name them.
Mhm.
That's funny.
But yeah, closing thoughts, general thoughts about it as a whole.
I think I was sitting at like a 6. There are still things where it's just I don't know for sure what's going on, and I don't know if I'm wrong to like, think it's the show missing something or if it is just me missing something. But hopefully, by being as just open with what I'm seeing and what I think about it, people can do what they will with our assessment.
I'm at a 6. If we had more, I think it could be higher or lower, depending on what is there. I think, ironically enough, this short benefits from doing the EFAP style to it because it is so. There's just a lot of talking and conversation, and it's good to communicate with other people about what's happening.
Yeah.
There are definitely some issues that I'm just like, why,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, for me it's more like plot elements that bug me, Whereas like thematically, I really like it. Character wise, for the boss, I really like it. Protagonist, it's I like him. I can't say I really like him though. There's kind of just a void of information where there's not a ton for me to latch on to.
If my Mike theory is correct, I'll have like a lot of praise. Yeah, I can't lie. The Mike theory kind of really hinges my entire opinion on this. If I am correct, and there was an actual like setup by one of the people working for the antagonist, I'm gonna go, all right, that was pretty sick. Like that was slick. If not, then I'm just gonna go, oh, we just really things are real convenient, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
me... Good.
I don't know. I want to hope that the Mike thing is right, but you are probably right. Like if I'm being honest.
I kind of have the same thing, except with the like with the gun jamming, where it's like if the boss intentionally jammed his own gun, I really like that. But if the gun jamming is literally what like allows the conversation to happen, and the conversation is what causes the boss to like crouch over the guy and like basically all these things like line up to make sure that we get the ending we get. If it's not intended, if it is just luck, it gets quite a bit weaker in that aspect.
See, I can eat my vegetables with the gun jamming under the information that he shoots all the time and it's an old gun. Like if it's an old gun that's getting used frequently, then I can buy it jamming better than I can some type of smoke device just being sneaked in when these people should be getting searched. And like, dude, it hinges on whether or not the smoke device is in his butt. That really kind of, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding either. If he was fucking hiding it in his butt and there's no way Mike's gonna take his pants off and reach his hand up there, then I can go, okay, I can see how that happens, even though there's still an issue with the timer. Man, that clock, like it has to. There's no. I mean, it can be. It's either flawed or Mike's the real mastermind. Those are the options. I'm leaving it up to the council to decide. The council being whoever sees this video.
Yeah, but overall, I think this is definitely one of the better shorts I've seen on YouTube. It is cool to see Mauler nail certain aspects. It is disappointing to see some things that I feel just ironically needed more time. Just a couple small changes, like I said, would fix things. Even just dialogue exchanges where I wonder how much it was bounced off of other people, or even if the actors quite understood what was going on in the script at certain points, because there are too many parts where I'm like, the lines don't feel like they're reacting to the lines that come before, and it kind of feels like they're just saying what they need to say. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. There's quite a bit to pull out of it in hindsight, but yeah.
I imagine Mauler watches this, probably not, but if he did, and he hears my Mike theory and goes, yeah, we'll go with that.
You fucking gave him an out.
Oh god, no! Someone ask him before this video gets published.
But yeah, pretty fun. We did a pretty good job. We got 2 hours and 10 minutes out of an 18-minute video.
He responds to like a hate comment about how it's confusing. He goes, "Wow, I guess you just didn't put together the Mike theory now, did you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, fuck it, fun experience to do.
It's been very interesting. And yeah, it's just it's very compelling knowing like quite a bit about the creator on the other side and what he likes and what he's not okay with. And it is kind of funny. Yeah.
Now, it is worth me saying this only because I feel with someone like Mauler, if this video were to do well, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, you guys clearly like EFAP or clearly don't, depending on what side you fall on. I want to make this very clear. The reason I said at the start of the video that I am like a retired EFAP fan is I am like no longer a fan of their content. Like just not trying to throw shade or cause any type of YouTube drama, because let's face it, I'm not really a big YouTuber, but I just do not like their style anymore, and I'm just not a fan of their content, frankly. And I don't even like a lot of Mauler's YouTube videos, which I used to. So I went into this thinking I was going to be a little more like apprehensive and a bit more aggressive with my criticisms, but judging the art, not the artists, or my disagreements with who he aligns himself with and belief systems, I think it was pretty good, all things considered, and I would not be against seeing more.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
I
pretty
think.
much. Yeah.
Sorry, you go.
Oh yeah, I was just issues aside, I still do regularly listen to EFAP. I know some people will take issue with that, but for me, it is just they are some of the best, if not the best, at like removing their bias when analyzing media. Maybe there's others I just haven't seen, and people will flame me in the comments for that. But for the most part, when I'm looking for somebody who's like talking about stories, I really just want them to talk about the story. I want to hear people discuss what is actually happening, what is being said, what the motivations. I just want all the elements to be discussed with as little bias as possible. And I feel like they do still do that better than most people seem to be able to. But yeah.
Yeah, but I
You
also
don't
think
have to
that's
Obviously.
that's also a byproduct of, I feel, the bar being really low on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the overwhelming majority of reviewers on YouTube just like, one, are either just trying to get sponsorships, which I do respect them for not reaching for that, because I mean, even though I only have 22,000 subs, I've turned down 25 sponsorships this month.
Damn.
Because it's just a bunch of fucking garbage AI companies asking me to promote their shit for $200, and I would literally rather delete my channel than just openly support AI companies at this point with the knowledge that I now have.
Yeah.
Which is part of my issue with EFAB. But yeah, honestly, the question I'll ask at the end of anything, and this just kind of is an objective measure of my praise. Would you pay to go see this?
Ugh.
Are you, and
I'm really broke right now, so probably not.
Okay.
But I don't. Would I pay to see a full, fleshed out movie
Yes.
of this?
Yes, we'll go with that.
Huh.
I have my answer. I think if I wasn't doing anything, like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to see a movie like this personally, but if I wasn't busy and it was a Tuesday or Thursday and tickets weren't an arm and a leg, like $5, I would go see this. And I mean, even though we don't live near each other, I think if me and you went to go see a movie like this in person, we would enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
And
I
even
guess.
though it is, sorry,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying, even though I do have a lot of issues with it, I think that's the best praise I could give it. Is like, if I saw this unknowing of who the creator was, if I spent $10 on it, I wouldn't be, oh, what a waste of money. That's
Yeah,
like
true.
the most objective thing I can say.
Yeah. I guess for me, the tricky part is like, if I'm being honest, I don't think I would check out a full movie of this if I didn't know it was from Mauler, because so much of the reason is like, yeah, I want to see what the person who's talked about movies for so long, I want to see him try, especially after like, clowning on people like Chris Stuckman for their attempts. But yeah, it's really hard to say. I feel like for the most part, probably just because I've seen so much good shit, especially in these recent years, I'd probably pass it up, just because, again, there's nothing really that special about it. It's nothing I haven't seen before. Really doesn't help that I like Tywin a lot as a character, and I know, like, not as a person, obviously, but as a character, I've already absorbed his story, I feel, to the maximum degree. So seeing kind of just a lower budget copy, it's just not, yeah, I don't think there'd be enough to suck me in if it wasn't for literally just knowing who the person is and being curious about that.
I don't know. If I saw just like a trailer for this and we were like in close proximity, I'd probably be like, yo, I bought $10 tickets. Let's go see it.
Yeah. I will say,
I wouldn't pay more.
If the idea was the entire movie was just a longer exchange in the barn, that'd be another thing where I'm like, I'm so curious what that looks like. Because you've seen 12 Angry Men, right?
Nope.
Oh. Well, we will have to fix that at some point. But that's a movie that's all just in one room. It's all just jurors talking to each other. And it's a fantastic movie. It's super, super fucking good. And yeah, I feel maybe that'd be another thing where I'm like, I'm curious what the full movie would look like. Because I want to say another thing in the Lance's Friends review was that the Westminster was supposed to be a scene, actually. which I'm very curious. Yeah, that would have been interesting. And I do feel like that would have helped actually, especially to maybe tie us to the protagonist. If you have those two scenes, you can see like the family die, and then maybe you don't realize till after like he was connected to that family. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. Overall, I do wish there was just a bit more. I want a bit more sauce. I hope he makes another one, and I hope he improves.
Yeah, I hope it's better.
Yeah. I hope we see
All right.
Mike again.
God, I really got to know about that Mike theory now. I'm not going to sleep. But yeah, I guess with all that being said, that's been our coverage of All in Good Time, Mauler short film. Mauler, if you copyright strike this, you're a coward.
And
And yeah, that's about it.
Hypocritical asshole if you do that. Fucking bullshit. But yeah.
All right. I guess all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I mean, I guess I'll sincerely hope to catch you in the next one. We'll see if Wamba wants to.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I like Con, but I don't know about chat. Anyway,
All right.
take it easy, guys. Have a great day.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Peace.